Well, alongside me is former Borough star Billy Ashcroft, but a cult hero, I heard, Billy, when you played for the Borough.
You lost me when you said star.
Well, thanks for agreeing to have a chat. As a youngster growing up in Liverpool, was it an ambition to become a footballer? I mean, Liverpool, Everton on your doorstep. Was it an ambition to be a footballer?
Yeah, I didn't kick a ball till I was 14 though. I never played football at school. I swam for Lancashire, so I was a good swimmer, but I was also the city champion for the triple jump. So I was in the Liverpool Harriers, I ran for Lancashire, so I was an athlete, but I never played football.
Wow, I wasn't aware of that.
Oh no, and what it was, the school teacher who took the athletics team said, in the winter months, I wanted you to keep fit, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to make you train with the school B team.
Yeah.
So these were the big fat lads who couldn't play.
Yeah, I've got a few big mates like that.
So it was, so I just played with them a little bit, and I thought, this is for me. So I had a job in Liverpool as a delivery boy, 50 pence a week. So I bought some stamps. I bought a ball first, obviously, stamps, envelopes, and then wrote for trials. Tranmere.
Tranmere Rovers, yeah.
No chance. He said, you'll never make a football as long as you've got a hole in your house.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Blackpool. I went to Blackpool on trial and Stan Mortensen signed me. That was after I'd only played 4 games of football before that.
Right.
But I watched Everton. I watched Alan Ball and.
Yeah, who was your boyhood heroes at Everton?
Well, it was Alex Young at the start.
Right.
Then we signed Bawley, and because of the red hair thing, I always wanted to be that little midfield player.
Yeah.
But I grew out the top of my head, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, Alan Ball was always a hero.
Yeah. How did you go from a central defender to a centre forward?
I think it was down to me lack of pace. You know what I mean? I started at Blackpool as centre half, and then I was playing football in the park somewhere, and there was a young lad called Dave Hughes from Liverpool. Mm-hmm. He said, "Come with me training. It's a Wrexham thing in Liverpool." So I went, and he said to the coach, a fellow called Jack Daniels, believe it or not.
Jack Daniels.
He said, "This is Billy. He's a centre forward." So he said, "Go up front." So I just had a little kick around. He went, "Yeah, big lad." Saturday, go over to Wrexham, and I played against a team called Wrexham St Mary's. Scored 2 goals, and the following week I was in the reserves. So the progress was like from nothing.
So the transition just happened sort of naturally, wasn't it?
A couple of times at Wrexham, because we didn't have massive squads.
Yeah.
I had to play centre half. When I went to Middlesbrough, John Craggs was injured.
Yeah, Craggsy, yeah.
I had to mark Peter Barnes one week. He said, "You're playing right back," because I was out the team. The following week it was John Robertson from Forest.
Some player had money.
An experience. And then the following week, Craggsy's back. I thought, thank Christ for that. And John said, "I'm going to put you in midfield away at Arsenal." I thought, as long as you don't put me on Liam Brady.
Chippy.
So I had to do a man for man marking job on Brady.
Did you? How did it go?
0-0.
Wow,
He put me on my backside once, but that didn't do bad. And then it was like, well, I could defend. But,
were you tough?
I don't think so. I mean, everyone says about you were a bit of a Egypt like, but I thought I was a skillful centre forward. But everybody thinks that, don't they?
Oh, we all do, yeah, even I thought that. Back then you had a fantastic mane of hair. I mean, you still got your hair. Like a big afro. Did the manager ever ask you to get rid of it or cut it or?
No. What it was, at Wrexham, I mean, I was on £7 a week at Wrexham, so it cost me £8 a week to live because I was like 11 miles from the ground in digs. So I never had any money, so I couldn't afford haircuts. So that just, and the thing, it wasn't a perm or anything, it just used to grow further and further.
It's unbelievable, it was like a bush, wasn't it?
Like the hair bear bunch. Yeah. That crossed between Shirley Temple and Village People, wasn't it?
That was a great mock of hair, but I'm thinking of Bruce Rake, who I worked under. Bruce was a disciplinarian. He told guys to get their haircut, have a shave, dress smartly, but back then, no.
No. Well,
did it ever affect your game? I don't know, affect your game. It must have been about a stone in that hair. You know the way you were running.
It felt like. I think the first time I got a cut, it was like they found my school cap in there somewhere, but and pencil behind my ear, you know. But it was just. I mean, that was the start. I was a bit of a hippie, you know. I was into like.
Yeah, what music you were into? You love your music, was that?
At the time,
back then,
believe it or not, I was into soul music. I was into the Temptations, the Four Tops, and then the Beatles. Yeah, obviously.
Who's your favourite Beatle?
John Lennon.
Lennon's my favourite.
Oh, yeah.
I love music, Lennon. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. I don't mind McCartney, but he's a little bit sugary for me. Some of the music that he wrote, you know, the love for
Lennon was more a rebel, wasn't he?
Yeah.
More political and everything.
He was more like
opinionated.
Yeah. He was more like a Scouser to me.
And before we come on here, I was talking to you briefly, and you were saying about you play guitar and you played guitar in the past, and you know a lot of band members. How did you get into the music? As in playing it yourself?
Playing it. There was a lad at Wrexham, and he borrowed money off me, and I don't know whether he thought I was some kind of thug. I was going to send the boys round, but he said, "I haven't got any money." I said, "Well, you know, you can pay your debts." He said, "Well, I'll tell you what, I'll give you this guitar." So all the lads were like, oh, "Guitar," because I was an artist. I was going to be an artist.
I like painting, you know. Are you an artist?
Yeah, I was going to be an artistic designer.
Oh, right, okay.
So I was always with that little bit of flair, and then all the lads were like, "You're not going to play that." Well, so that was it. So I made sure I could play it. Within 6 months, I got a few little tunes, a bit of Simon and Garfunkel and that. And then I found out some of the Beatles songs were only 4 chords, and I was like, "Get away with it."
Yeah.
I just wish I could sing.
Did you ever do a gig with a band or anything?
No, but when I had the pubs, all the lads used to come in, used to get the guitar out, and we used to like
jamming session.
We'd start off with like, you start off with A, so you have to play a song or sing a song that starts with an A and then there's a B. And if you got it wrong, you had a beer or something. But
that's a good game.
Well, all my mates are guitarists. I mean, all the lads from around here.
Yeah, you were telling us some of the lads that's in bands, like the Christians.
No, well, I see the Christians, but my mates are the Searchers and the Mersey Beats, Joe Brown's Brothers, but all the old sort of 60s bands. But, I mean, I used to do presentations all the time, you know, kids' presentations and that. So I got into comedians, because I'd do that, and then there was a band on, and a comedian. So the likes of John Martin, Jackie Hamilton, Mickey Finn, all the Liverpool comedians, but all the Liverpool bands. So, I mean, I really got into the music and that. And all my mates now are guitarists.
I love
bands
music.
And stuff. Actually, yeah, love me music.
Your career really took off when you signed for Wrexham, spent 7 years, played over 200 games and banged in a boatload of goals. Some fans regard you as one of the greatest ever signings. You must be chuffed with that.
Well, yeah, I did a gig there the other week, last season, sorry, at the Mice Gwyn Hall. It was a sellout, and there was a standing ovation, and I was like, tearing me eye.
Right.
But I mean, I was there for 9 years. I was there 2 years as an apprentice, or ground staff, cleaning boots.
Yeah.
And then I progressed. I was the first of the sort of new breed to sign, because we all played in the reserves in the Northern Floodgate League. And I think out of that team, there was 9 of us got through to the first team. We had Dave Smallman who went to Everton.
Yeah.
Mickey Thomas who went to...
I was going to say Mickey Thomas, some character him, isn't he?
Mickey.
Is he still making their counterfeit money?
Well, he bought me that painting in there, but I think he paid £11 in one note. But Mickey and Joey Jones were there.
Joey Jones, yeah, the fullback, the Welsh international.
Used to clean our boots.
Wow.
But yeah, we had Graham Whittle, which was Alan Whittle's brother, which for me is the best. He was the best player we ever had there.
Right. Yeah, Mickey, I still see Mickey when I go to the odd game at Old Trafford.
Yeah.
I bump into Mickey, I maybe go 4 times a season. He's a character, isn't he?
Absolutely fantastic.
I love him.
Yeah.
He's full of personality and fun and...
Well, whenever I go over there, he always turns up. He never gets a ticket. I mean, I have to have a ticket to go in the door, and he just walks through the door and stuff like that.
I laugh when there was a wee extract in his... I've not read his book, but wee extracts, it says something like, because he got put in prison, didn't he, for the counterfeit money. This is the only thing that I regret is I didn't put my face on instead of the Queen's. I'm still miffed to this day how the Welsh teams like Wrexham, Cardiff qualify for the English leagues, where the Celtic Rangers north of the border don't. How has that happened?
Well, it's not a long time ago. I think they actually won the FA Cup, Cardiff. It's the only time it's gone out of England.
Right.
But I found it strange anyway, because we played in the English league, but we played in the Welsh Cup. It's like the English FA Cup.
Yeah. And
we got into Europe. I played in for 2 seasons in Europe. We got through to the quarter-final against Anderlecht.
Right.
That.
Yeah, we're going to take a wee picture of that after we talk to you.
It was, we never let ourselves down. We played against international players. Rob Brenson, Gary Yarn. We played Djurgardens. Hajduk Split. We got knocked out by
Hajduk Split. I've heard of them.
On the away goal rule.
Yeah.
So we were allowed in that, but then it's like the Welsh FA said, well, you can't keep doing this. So they sort of banned Wrexham now because they are affiliated with the English League.
Yeah. How did the European scene go then? Did you love it?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, one of my best games ever for them was against Anderlecht away.
Right.
And it was when we came back. I mean, we got beat 1-0, but against them that was like really good results. So we were all on the lash in the night. The next day we got back home, and in the papers there's this headline: "The Bear of Brussels." I was like, I said badger when they got you with the eyes.
Yeah.
And when I read down, it's like you had a good game. 2 weeks later, they put a bid in for me for, I think it was £200,000.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
On the back of that?
Kroon and John Neal said, "You're too young." So it was like, oh, fair enough. I mean, they still want me here. So I didn't go. But
so the Bear headline was obviously directed at you?
yeah, but they instead of signing me, because they wouldn't let me go, they signed Duncan McKenzie. So every time I see Duncan now, he said, "You got to be a great
He
kid."
played for Leeds, didn't he, Duncan McKenzie? Did he play for Everton as well?
Everton, yeah. Skillful player. He suited Anderlecht.
I met former Wrexham United star. Well, I mentioned Mickey Thomas, and he's a character. What type of player was Mickey Thomas? I've never asked him this directly. I'll ask you because you played with him.
Have you ever seen Never Ready Batteries?
Yeah.
He's got a body full of them. That's when he played. Well, we called him Noddy.
Oh, right.
Because
okay.
when he ran, his head was bobbing up and down.
He had him up my hair then, didn't he?
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know what, he was a little fat fella, you know what I mean? But he's one of these. When I was at Wrexham, we had Mickey on one wing, there was me centre forward, and Graham Whittle playing off me. And on the right wing, you had Bobby Shinton, who went to Newcastle.
Yeah.
And all they did was put crosses in, and if I didn't get on the end of them, I'd make sure nobody else did, so we got knocked down. And I think the season we should have got promotion, which was 75, 76, I think we scored 86 goals between the three of us.
Wow.
That was without Mickey's goals as well.
Right. So, was Mickey known for scoring a few goals as well?
Well, yeah, I think we beat Spurs away. We were like fourth in the third division. They were near the top in the first. We were 3-0 up. Mickey scored 2 and I got 1.
Wow.
So, I mean, he always chipped in with goals.
You caught the eye of several clubs with your performances at Wrexham, eventually signed for Middlesbrough. How did the move come about? Who spoke to you? How did it?
Well, John Neal, to be honest with you. It was, he spoke to me before the end of the season. He said, "I'm going to Middlesbrough." And we were all devastated because we didn't get promotion that year.
Yeah.
And I was there 9 years. I should have stayed and had a testimonial and that. I actually think if we would have got promotion, John wouldn't have gone, and I'd still played for him.
Right.
But it was, he said, "I want you at Middlesbrough." I know the money was much better, but the thought of playing at Port Vale and Halifax or going to Goodison Park, Old Trafford, not Anfield, I'm not bothered about Anfield. But
that's because you're the blue, yeah.
Playing those big teams, I mean, we'd had a little taste of it when we went to Spurs and went to Anderlecht and places. And I just wanted it. And John gave me the opportunity, so... So
when you went to Teesside, was it a bit of a cultural shock, or were you okay with it?
It was when I turned up.
I turned up?
I had to borrow a car, and it was a minivan, and there was oil coming out the back, and I parked it at the Martin Hotel and Country Club next to Charles's
That's long
roller.
gone, yeah.
And then there was a Porsche on that side, and I've got this minivan that was steaming. And I had to drive to West Brom for my debut, and Graham Souness sat with me, and he was like, "Oh, you're going to have to get something better than this."
So who were some of the players, the younger viewers, who were some of the players you played with at Middlesbrough? Through that 7-year period or whatever it was.
Well, it was great that I just left Wrexham, and we had the five-a-side, we were playing five-a-side, and I had my mates and that. And I got to Middlesbrough, and I think the first team I played in was Jimmy Platt was in goal. Terry Cooper was in my team.
Not Tommy Cooper, Terry Cooper, yeah.
I met Tommy Cooper as well.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Was it funny?
My stag night, I was with Tommy Cooper, slept at his house.
Did he tell you any jokes?
Oh, yeah. I was there all night, slept at his house.
I thought you were going to see he slept there.
But, yeah, I used to do a Tommy Cooper act in Holland. That's all over the media. Well, anyway, there was Terry Cooper, not Tommy Cooper. Suey, with Davy Armstrong was on my
David
team.
Armstrong, Spike, God rest him, yeah.
And then we had Johnny McAndrew,
Trapper,
which was one of my good mates, and
right.
Graham Headley was my best.
I know
mate.
Headley as well, colour-haired lad.
Smith,
yeah.
He had the same hair as me, but different colour.
Yeah.
But he was my roommate for a long time. But then we had Bomey. John Hickton was still there.
Big John, King John, yeah.
He was great, because I was supposed to be taking his place. So how did he replace John Hickton?
Yeah, big. Well,
he was great.
I heard all the stories you used to run for the halfway, and I interviewed him one day and he went, I'd have been knackered the time I got there.
He run from Linthorpe on penalties.
Oh, right, beyond the halfway line. Yeah, John's a big placid man. When you meet him now,
lovely,
he's placid, isn't he? Lovely guy.
But the same with that, I had to replace him, which I didn't do, I promise you that. And then a couple of years later, John said to me, I'm going to play you centre-half, so you're going to replace Stuart Bones. Another legend. Yeah, you know what I mean? So straight away you're on a downer, because you're replacing all these, like, the greats at Middlesbrough.
But you must have did the job because you were there a number of years.
That's 5 years, yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I just loved it. So I wasn't the best. I know I wasn't the best, but I would give 100%. Even though it was crap, it was my best.
110%, man. Yeah. Your brother debut was against West Bromwich Albion. What do you remember of that game? How did it go?
Cyril Regis.
Cyril Regis, fast stars, centre forward.
I just remembered it being. I felt a little bit out of my depth, you know what I mean? I'd just come from the 3rd division, which was a really good standard. We had a good football team, but the players I was playing with were like thinking that little bit sharper than I was. And Cyril's debut was just unbelievable. I just in order, the guy, you know what I mean?
Yeah, great player.
But it was,
fast.
To be honest with you, it was a 90-minute game that went over in about 7 or 8 minutes.
Just a flash.
Yeah, just a flash.
What was the score? Final score?
I think we got beat 2 or 3-0, something like that.
I will not talk about that then. We'll leave it there.
We won 5-1. Nobody's going to check.
What was your favourite part of the ground? Was it the Chicken Run, the Clive Road, the Holgate End? What was it?
Holgate End, because the Chicken Run used to give me so much grief.
They give everybody
just
grief.
Hate them there. But they never give Cocky grief.
Never gave Terry on the wing who hugged the line.
And he was going up
Socks
and down. And they go, Cocky goes, it's Craigsy. It was him. So they'll have a go with John Craggs. Poor old Craigsy got unmerciful stick from them.
They were a bad lot, weren't they, the old Chicken Run?
They were great. So if you play them well, they were great.
They were behind you, yeah.
But so was the Holgate End.
The Holgate End, I loved
that. That was just fantastic. Yeah. It was, I actually scored on my home debut against Birmingham. Got beat 2-1. Trevor Francis scored a couple. And Graham Sinnes, like go down that end and go and give him a wave. And you're running down. The hairs on the back of your neck. It's your first Premiership goal.
Yeah, wow.
First division goal.
Yeah.
And you could just hear it.
Yeah, wow.
What a feeling.
How was Sunderson? I mean, I've interviewed Sunderson in the past. How did you find him as a player, as a person, as a character?
They told me to keep away from him because he'd been at Champagne Charlie. I found him completely the opposite.
Yeah.
He was such a nice lad. And we actually went out once and we had too many beers. The following day went into train. And he didn't do his best, same as me. So we went out, had something to eat, and then she's like, jump in the car, we're going back to the ground. I said, what for? He said, well, you think that training was good this morning? So now we're going to do some laps. So he'd go back on his own.
Right.
Nobody were there. He'd just do some laps and he'd get the balls out and start.
Right.
He's such a dedicated player, and what he did in the end at Liverpool.
I know you don't like Liverpool, but you have to take your hat off. 3 European Cup.
That's a bit of a joke, Liverpool. All my mates played for Liverpool. I was mates with Terry McDermott,
right, yeah.
Phil Thompson, Dave Fairclough, Alan Kennedy. They're all my mates. Emlyn Hughes was one of my best mates.
Right.
Because his brother played for... he played in the Northern Flood, Barrow.
Right.
And Emily used to come up to...
I bet there was some banter between you lot after a derby game.
Oh, yeah.
Is it true you used to mix back then? I mean, it could happen in Glasgow.
My missus had read. She never told me that till...
You've not got rid of you yet?
But he said to me, don't tell me bloody dad you're a red. Christ. But she told me that when I retired, because I said, we're going to a game. Do you want to come to the game? She said, who's playing? I said, Everton, West Ham. Said, why would I want to go to watch Everton and Liverpool supporter? God almighty.
What number did you wear?
Most of the time.
Most of the time, the majority of times.
Well, it varied between 9 and 12, because we only had one sub in them days.
Yeah.
So if I wasn't playing 9, I was on the bench.
It's mad, like 1 sub, 2 subs, now it's like 7, 8, 10, 12 subs. Amazing, isn't it? Any superstitions or rituals before a game?
None at all, touch wood. I'm not superstitious.
Right. You spent several years at Middlesbrough. What was a highlight? Was there one highlight that jumps out and you think, wow, that was...
No, to be honest, it's one of those things where I was there for 5 years and again it went over so quick. I mean, the first goal against Birmingham, I think that would have been sort of the highlight because it was the first goal I ever scored. And going out to Goodison Park,
of course.
You got Z cars playing. I mean, I remember you interviewing me on the side of the pitch, and my phone went, and it was the Everton ringtone. Getting interviewed by Borough, and you got the Everton ringtone.
Yeah.
But just running out there, it was like concentrate. When we go out there and Zcars is playing, you're going in the red corner, not the blue corner. You don't follow the Everton blood zone.
You played under John Neal. Did you play under Bobby Murdoch as well?
Yeah.
How did you fit? Well, John Neal was a quiet guy. I've interviewed him in the past as well. Bobby Murdoch, how did he?
Well, we didn't get on at the start.
All right, yeah.
We did a tour of Scotland and we got battered by everyone. And we said, we just need to do different things. And he just took exception to what I said. And that's the reason why that season I didn't really play that many games.
Oh, did you not?
No.
Is that because you did a wee bit?
We got on. Yeah, Bob was great with me, but he was just... I don't think I was his player.
Right.
Mick Baxter was playing centre-half.
Mick Baxter's the guy with the tash, he looked
a bit like me.
Yeah, he was like your brother.
So I came on against Aston Villa. We getting beat 3-1. And I came on with about 15 minutes to go and I scored 2 goals. Well, the following week I still wasn't in the team. And I thought, I'd make plans to get away, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But I didn't want to leave. Never wanted to leave, but
I was going to ask you that further down the line. I was going to say it was amicably, but obviously you get...
Well, it was amicable. In the end of the season, he took me into the office and he said, I'm letting you go. And I said, well, that's no problem. I went down to Chelsea to see John Neal. I was on the pitch, shook hands with John. I was signing for Chelsea. And then I met Ken Bates. And I thought, couldn't sign for that. He was
the chairman at the time, wasn't he? Horrible. Well, he looked a horrible man,
Well, I thought that. He's probably a decent bloke because he saved them. But I did that and then I came back to Liverpool, to the mother-in-law's, and there was 2 tickets to Schiphol. Amsterdam, and it was Heine Otto who sorted me a trial with.
Right, because Heine Otto was a better player, of course. We'll come to that in a minute. As a play, socially, I would go to the Tall Trees, Hardwick Hall, the Mall, Mad Dogs, Madhouse, now and again. Where did you go? I heard you went to the Bongo.
No, God no.
Ah, wait, I heard you went to Club
No,
Bongo
I went to Grangetown British Legion.
All right.
Yeah.
That's even worse.
I thought it was great. I just fitted in with them. Right. You know, they were really nice people.
So that was the end place where you went as players?
Well, that was just my mate, was the manager, a guy called Jimmy Walsh. But when I went out with the lads, we go to the Yellow Rose.
Yellow Rose at the corner, yeah.
And Madison. But, I mean, I lived on Cricket Lane, so the cricket club was 50 yards from where I lived. So we had Alan Ramage lived on that road. David Mills lived there for a while. John Coddington was just over the road.
Yeah.
And Bomey was the house next door to the club. So we got the cricket club.
So you say it's John Coddington, was he the coach?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was coach when I came. He sadly passed away recently. He was a good guy, wasn't he? Did you like him?
Yeah, fantastic.
I loved him.
He really helped me as well.
He used to puff a pipe, didn't he? When I first came, I seen him puffing a pipe. And he was super cool, relaxed.
Oh, don't he ever had a pipe with those?
Oh, a pipe?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did that. I seen him with a pipe, but he was a lovely man.
He'd have got some bloody grief if he had a pipe when we were there.
Who were the characters in the dressing room? Was there guys that stuck out? Was there any communal bath stories? Or you remember the communal baths? Great bath.
Oh yeah,
brilliant, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, and you used to see them sitting there, the big smile. Have you peed in the bath again? So you just get your shower.
Or run at this. Or run
the
at
characters. I mean, Dave Shearer was just.
Was he a funny man?
Oh yeah, he's he just. It's whiskey, you know. He was a
he liked to drink.
He's a chick there. He's from the Highlands and
yeah.
So we said we're going to meet up with Odgie and Proc because we need to get him some clothes because the clothes he had was like straight out of a bloody funeral parlour. So meet me at our house. So the wife said to him, like, sit down, Dad, would you like a drink? He went, aye, whiskey. This is 8 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
Do you want anything in it? He says, yeah, mere whiskey. So we had a Scotch before he went. This is 8 o'clock in the morning. Before we went shopping. Wow. But what a character! But in training, in a match, 100%.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was a character. But I mean, the lads, Graham Headley was the same. Didn't matter where we go, he'd look up. There's a stage over there. He said, Ash, demand me, get me on that stage, because anywhere he'd just sing.
Yeah. Have you met any of the lads over the recent years?
Well, I'm always in touch with Smed, and I went over to see him. I saw Trapper at Tony McAndrew at John Neal's funeral.
I've seen him at God My Queen's funeral.
Yeah. I saw Gordon at one of the Everton games.
What was Proctor and Hodgson like? They were a couple of boyfriends at the time, I hear.
Oh, they were great. They're really good lads. They used to come in with they'd see them from the top up and they'd have a suit jacket with a tie on it, and then you look and they got Bermuda shorts on the same colour. And spats or something. Right. But 2 great guys. I mean, I talk to Proc on Facebook now. And
yeah, Proc's a great lad. He's my pal.
phoned me and that. But
Proc was my best man.
Yeah.
Yeah, last
I
year.
saw it, yeah.
We went to Portugal, yeah,
I
Proctor's
saw
the best
some of the
man.
photos. Fantastic.
I love Proctor,
photos,
great
yeah.
guy. Proctor's great
Well,
guy.
he was like that when he was a kid. You know what I mean? A little bit more hair. But they were the two cool guys. You know, they
Yeah.
were the sort of trendsetters.
Yeah. You left Middlesbrough after 5 years. Well, we mentioned about Forster amicably, but you ended up with FC20. How did that come about, and how did you adapt to life over there?
It was fantastic. It was Hanley Ott who got me that gig. They were looking for players, looking for a centre forward, and they'd never really had an English centre forward in Holland. There was a guy called MacDonald, which I still speak to him now.
No, Malcolm.
Oh God, no. Rob MacDonald. But I played, and he said, "Will you do this little trial?" Like, so I played and scored a couple of goals. Oh, that'll do for us. So they started talking money, and it was like, the money was great. So what about a car? I said, well, I've got a car in England. Oh, we'll take you out. So they took me to a Mercedes garage. Take your pick.
Wow.
So I was like, well, who do I pick? No, that's a present from us. So they couldn't do enough for you.
Right.
And it was fantastic until we got relegated my first season. Because I couldn't speak the language. I didn't know what anyone was saying. It's like you're walking down the road and it's like aliens.
Yeah.
Couldn't understand.
Yeah.
And we got relegated. We had a half-decent team. The following season, we brought a lad in who actually played for Bruges, called Jan Sorensen. Played against Liverpool in the European Cup final.
Right.
And we brought in Spitz Cohen, the coach, and then we got Fritz Korbach. And he was one of those guys that you run through a brick wall for. By that time, I understood some words on Dutch on the field, what you need to do, how to order beer, food and stuff.
How do you order a beer?
Well, that was the
then
first
important ones.
Forget the stuff on the pitch. But then my son was fluent within a month. So he helped us out a little bit. And once I started to understand the language, get to know the lads, that second season, we got promoted. And I finished up top goal scorer.
Right.
So going from somewhere that didn't want you,
to
Middlesbrough, going to somewhere where they'd actually just done a documentary on ESPN.
Yeah, I was going to talk. They did a documentary about you, didn't they?
How do you become a cult hero? I think that's what they said.
Yeah.
How do you become a cult hero?
It was a cult hero, not the Scottish word that ends with a T.
I was thinking it was, is that a Dutch word? But I did it, and we filmed it for like 7 days, and this guy was just telling me what people were saying, and all the people on Twitter and Facebook saying, my hero. And
have you watched it? Can people watch it on YouTube and that?
It's on YouTube. It's just put Billy Ashcroft Drive.
Right, so there you go, Billy Ashcroft Drive. I'm going to watch it because I seen it yesterday. I was looking up, obviously researching, and I seen that you had this documentary. I thought, wow, I need to watch that.
Goffy's just watching, and he texted me early on. He said,
right,
brilliant. But it's about my son had a stroke, and how strong he is. And it's like, because I've got my driving car, school car, and he couldn't walk. He was in a bed for a long. He was only over the road. He couldn't walk, and then he came out. He's that determined. And in the documentary, he says, I'm a bit like my dad because I had my operation and I couldn't do anything. He said, I've got that drive. So they called it Drive. And it just sums the family up, basically.
I'm going to definitely have a look at that. I believe, the documentary. After 3 years, you returned to England, joined Tranmere. How did that go?
Not great. It was Frank Worthington phoned me up.
He was some player, wasn't he? Frank Worthington.
Oh, unbelievable.
He was like, he loved Elvis, didn't he?
Yeah. Uh-huh. And I thought Frank would be great. So I said to him, I'll do some coaching because I've just been to Holland and we actually played that total football there.
Right.
Fantastic. But he got George Mulhall from Halifax.
Right.
My first day's training. This is for pre-season. Pre-season, I put a stone on. In Holland.
How did that happen?
Just the training was not great. We were just like running around the track. It was like 50 years ago. Whereas in Holland, one of our hard days was you're on a track, but you do 18 200-metre sprints followed by 18 400s, all under a certain time with a short space so you get your breath back. Mm-hmm. That was it. And I was like, at the end of that, the lads won't believe you if I told them that at the last 4 or 5 hours, right at the front, I got myself so fit I lost a stone in weight. I was drinking Grolsch, it's a diet beer, I think. And I've never been so fit. And even in some of the papers, which even the Wrexham lads, when I told them this, I didn't have my best game, but as usual, I covered every blade of grass. Nobody's ever said that about me, but that was in Holland. Come to Tranmere, pre-season training, round the track, it was just, I said, put a stone on and wait.
Getting back to Holland, did you ever try the space cake, go to the red light district or the Moulin Rouge?
No, I mean, some of the lads had, do you want to, I was like, well, I used to smoke in them days.
Oh, a bit of hashish?
No, thanks. They couldn't understand it. You know, I said, well, do you not get drug tested here?
No, it's illegal, yeah.
Yeah, but this is legal. But it's like, it's something I've never done. I mean, I had a pub and everyone in the bar was like, I should throw out the bloody window and like, don't be smoking that in my place. Just try it, man, chill out. And I was like, no, I don't do stuff.
You never tried the space cake?
No.
Moulin Rouge, you must have went there to see the dancing guilds and things.
I used to go to Amsterdam to a clinic, believe it or not.
Oh,
Sounds awful. But it was a Richard Smith sport clinic. So I had to drive to Amsterdam quite a lot. Because any injuries you got, they were a little bit, because you had to play.
Right.
Go to Richard Smith, so I'd drive to Amsterdam and I'd have a walk around the centre and stuff. A beautiful place, but the red light district. I went
It's
there.
a fascinating place. It's not seedy.
Brilliant.
You know,
Yeah.
people on windows and that. It's like classy. Obviously.
I actually won a competition where I sold more Heineken lager in the pub. So we had a trip to Amsterdam. We stayed at the Sonesta Hotel, which is right in the centre.
Right.
And went to the Heineken brewery. And we had a little look around. And we were actually in the Heineken brewery, and these young Dutch lads were talking Dutch about these pissheads that were there.
Yeah.
And I understood what they were saying. And when I went, I said, goedemiddag, tot straks. And so it was like, I told the lads, I said, they were saying all nice things about yous.
After retiring, how difficult was it to adapt to life outside the football?
That was difficult, yeah. I had like a year off, I think, and then I was just in a club, a social club in Liverpool, and I opened the door for this guy, and I've known him for years. And he worked for Whitbread. He was an area manager. And you don't fancy a pub, do you? That's what I'm doing, nothing. So we started our training, and it's supposed to be like, I don't know, 8 weeks training. Mm-hmm. Within 3 weeks, they put me in a pub in Aintree, near the racecourse. And then within another, I think it was 6 to 12 months, we had a pub in Liverpool. And that was it. I just got into the trade. I fell into it. But I enjoyed it because I'm quite a sociable person.
Social animal, yeah.
And I would play in football. The lads used to love it, used to come in.
Yeah.
All the borough lads, there was a coach load of them came to the pub. And it was like 9 o'clock in the morning, and they're all throwing stones, doing, Billy, open the doors.
And you obliged.
2 coach loads come in, yeah.
Many injuries throughout your career? And did you give many out?
Not serious. Somebody said I broke a couple of noses.
Yeah,
but I broke mine a few
right.
times. But yeah, I had one serious injury, which played in the cup game against Shrewsbury at Wrexham. And as I went to head the ball that way, somebody came this way, and the doctor said, yeah, it's a bit of bruising. And that night I'd gone for a beer with the lads, and my face started to, and I said, oh, I'm going home. When I got home, the missus said to me, your face is just hanging down here. Next morning I went in and I broke my jawbone there, my cheekbone disintegrated completely, and I broke the orbital socket. So I think I got the operation on the Thursday, and 3 weeks later I was playing back against Rotherham.
Amazing, eh?
You actually didn't get any money if you don't play.
That's
but
true.
You still wanted to play anyway. You know, it's that's what you were there for. And I thought, well, we don't get a knock. I mean, you don't get those big masks now.
Oh, they used to be around about now, don't they?
Zorro
and that now, yeah.
You used to put a plaster on there with X marks the spot, so next time you hit him, get him on there.
I know you're a Blue and Everton fan. What do you make of the current situation?
Abysmal. Absolutely abysmal. They've wasted that much money on average players. And I'm not naming.
No, you don't need to name anybody.
Because somebody said to me once, he'd written a book, or he's writing a book about Everton. Who's the best player? I said, Alan Ball. He said, who's the worst player ever to play for Everton? I went, how can you ask a question like that? You're an Evertonian. I said, there's players that weren't as good, but they played for Everton. So you give them that respect.
Yeah.
But the crop of players you got now, I mean, Dyche has got them working a bit harder, but if it's
you
Everton,
need more than that, don't you?
You don't have to play for Everton. Any club you play for, you should give that 100%.
Yeah, it should be minimum.
That's it. That's the minimum requirement. Whatever skill you got to go with it, yeah, great.
Former Everton star Graham Shutt, I knew Graham, played with Graham at amateur level. Him and a boatload of people were told not to go to the stadium. How scary is that? And are they back? I don't really know where we
I
are
think
with that.
Sharpie's been forgiven because I mean he's a legend. I mean I played against Graham.
Yeah.
And I spoke to him at the ground a few times. And I think it's Kenwright. He's been there for that long, and it's like he's managed the club to go from being in Europe with the like Peter Reid and Sharpie's times to what we're doing now. It's like it's 2 years relegation, and that shouldn't be well. We say it shouldn't be happening at Everton. It shouldn't happen in any team really if it's managed properly, and it's just not happened. Mashiri's come in, he's threw money at the club, but they're not buying the right players. They're not getting the Everton sort of way of playing.
And why was Sharpie under threat? Because he got a role within the club, didn't he? I don't know what his role was.
They did that to appease the fans. They said we'd have him on the board as a non-voting member. Or something.
Right.
So it was like just like he's one of us, you know. Don't be having to go with us. But the Everton, we don't get conned like that.
No, I don't think you can.
We know what happened, so Sharpie's forgiven. Legendary status back.
Good. Looking back at your own career, did you live up to your expectations and goals?
Oh, not far from it.
Why do you think that?
I just don't think I did.
Did you fulfil your potential?
I could have been better. I did what I wanted to do.
Right.
And I played in the top division. I played in Europe. I finished top goal scorer in a couple of clubs a couple of times.
Yeah.
But I know I could have been better.
So what stopped you from becoming better?
I'm not sure. It wasn't application. It was just I gave what I could. But there was something that wasn't quite there. There was something that I could. I mean, I go to Wrexham now, and people say to me, "Absolute legend."
Yeah, I've heard that.
You got on the Middlesbrough lads, what a legend you were. And I know they're just being polite and being nice.
No, but in Middlesbrough, I've heard your name many a time, Cult Hero. And Cult Heroes, I think, is a great title.
If I believed it, it'd be great. And it's just so nice people say that.
Right.
In 20, I'm looked at really sort of well liked. And I look back and I think, I'd love to have given you a little bit more. We got promotion with 20, but I didn't win anything at Borough, which we should have done. And I missed out on promotion with Wrexham. And the following year, they went up because they signed Dixon McNeil and Di Davis from Everton. So they were the sort of missing parts. And I thought if I'd have stayed for 1 year and gone up with them, I'd have missed out on Middlesbrough. So, but with that, taking it into consideration, made up. I played for 20 years.
20 years you played. I was going to ask you, 20 years. That's a
clubs
great
that I loved,
isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely loved it.
These days you're a driving instructor. That to me indicates that you're cool, calculated, calm individual these days.
Yeah, I've got to be. I mean, you get kids who are like getting in the car, they don't even know how to turn the engine on. Also, it keeps me a little bit into the football because I took Duncan Ferguson's son, Cameron, who's at Newcastle. Leighton Baines' son and Stephen Gerrard's daughter.
So you're getting...
Well, I was taking them, but then I went to hospital, so a mate of mine took them. Right. But I've actually still got Stephen Gerrard's daughter now, Lexi.
Right.
She's got a test coming up.
Right.
So I have to go to Stephen's house.
Are you surprised Gerrard's went abroad, joined the army of people that's gone to Saudi and whatever?
Well, with the flack that you get, it's like, would you do it? With the rights, people's rights, I wouldn't do it, but... Money talks, I suppose.
Henderson. Oh, you're not interested in Henderson. I
don't think he's a really decent bloke because he only lived in.
I heard he doesn't drink.
Well, there's something wrong with him then, isn't he? He's
mentally
retarded.
Oh, that must be the same as me.
No, I've seen him in Formby Village because all the players live down there.
Here,
and he's done a lot for the charities and that. And he's a really decent bloke.
Yeah,
and he stood up for people's rights.
Yeah.
But then you go over there and you think.
Yeah, it's hypocrisy, isn't it?
Yeah. Or are you going to go over there and try and change people's minds?
Yeah.
So jury's out. But he's a nice bloke.
Do you go to Everton games these days?
No, I had to give me season tickets up. I came out of the hospital. I had this operation, and I'm in the wheelchair. And I'm waiting for me mate.
In a wheelchair?
I couldn't walk down the steps at the hospital. I was in Liverpool, and I was in a coma for a couple of days. I mean, I was.
I knew you had a health issue, but I didn't know you were in a coma.
Oh yeah, I was in intensive care for 6, 7, 8 days, whatever I had, which passed like that. But I was on my way out a little bit there, and then a couple of days or whatever it was later, I phoned my mate up. He comes to pick me up, And we drove past the ground, and I thought, the ground's there, we park, I'd never make that journey. And he said the same thing, he's, I'm going to give my season tickets up. And it's not, they only cost 250 quid, you know what I mean, because we're pensioners. So it's, I could have kept it. And now, because my son's got a blue badge, we could have gone to the ground and they'd been right on it.
Right.
But that's unfair, you know what I mean, let somebody else take it for them 2 years.
Do you miss it?
Yeah, God almighty, yeah. I said, I've only been to one game in the last 2 years, and that was at Wrexham, because they asked me to do, it's 2 games, sorry. I had to do a talk at one of the games, and then the last one I did with Dave Smallman in this Bamford suite, and they let me park right outside the ground. And it was, they were getting beat 4-1 at half time, and I thought, oh, I'm a jinx. And finished up 5 each at Swindon.
Wow.
So yeah, but that's that. I just can't get to the games.
Have you ever been to Riverside?
Yeah. Jimmy Platt's had me over.
Right.
I was in one of the suites with Jimmy.
Yeah, with the Fenton.
A couple of games, yeah.
Right.
But it's a long way. I mean, I do an hour's driving with the kids here,
Yeah.
and after the hour, I'm like,
Yeah, fed up.
sometimes I have to stand up and go for a walk, or.
Yeah.
But I've got a treadmill and a walk on that, and after 20 minutes, breathing through my exhaust.
When you finally retire for your drive, whatever, are you going to take up the golf, or do you play golf? Are you going to be gardening? What are you going to be doing? What are you looking forward to?
I don't play golf. I stopped playing golf at Middlesbrough because I had a trapped nerve in my back, so I stopped playing that. I've got a gardener, so he comes and does the gardens. I'm not going to retire from driving. I absolutely love it. I've got kids in the car, 17-year-old lads, girls and stuff like that. We talk about music, how crap their taste in music is.
Yeah.
How crap their taste in football teams is or if they're Evertonian, you know, they get preferential treatment.
Obviously, your character will make them relax that bit more, I would think.
Gotta do.
You know, rather some of these drive instructors or the guys that put you through tests are fairly blank, aren't they?
Well, I've always been, not a comedian, but I've always liked a good laugh and that. And I get these, I've been doing it for 20 years, I've never advertised. I've never had to put my name in the paper or anything like that. It's recommendations.
Word of mouth, yeah.
Always word of mouth. And I've got a waiting list of like 20 kids now. So
I thought you said you had 20 kids.
Don't tell it. But yeah, I've got a waiting list, and it's just, can you put me on the waiting list? But I won't be ready for another 3 or 4. It doesn't matter. We wait.
Because obviously I follow you on social network, and I always see you putting, so-and-so's passed today, so-and-so's passed.
But that's good.
That's good.
It's the only bit of advertising you're going to get.
No,
if
that's
you put
good.
it on that.
That's
like,
very good.
Yeah, so, and also it's for their mates. You know, and let the mates know that, like, your mates just passed there.
Yeah.
And instead, I take the photograph and I send it to them on the phone as well, before I put it on Facebook.
Yeah.
So it's the biggest thing they do. You know, when you're a kid,
Yeah.
It's the most grown-up thing you do in your life, up to like that 17-year or 18-year period.
We'll finish with a Tommy Cooper joke, your best joke.
Do you know, I used to do a Tommy Cooper act.
Go on.
I can't remember the joke. Autobot. That was an Autobot. I used to have the fez and all kinds of stuff.
I used to have them new in advance and got you in it.
We did what you got over in Goodison at the studio.
Right.
And I did this Tommy Cooper act. They all talk about it still in Holland.
Right.
And I got one of the lads on stage, and we did this magic act, like with eggs that I was going to crack into a hat, put on his head, and when it comes out, John, it's going to be a cake. A lad called John Scaver. And he trusted me. So I put it on like that, and when I took it off, it just went. And then I got up with there was a band on that, so I got up with the band.
Well, Tommy Cooper was a funny man, wasn't he? I love Tommy
Strange
Cooper.
enough, it was I was in a bar in Liverpool, the 26th of November. I was getting married on the 27th. And my mate, Big Ali, was 6'10", and they had somebody going, "Now, Ross Sayers, can you move out the way, please? There's Tommy Cooper." And he come in, and then this voice outside, "Hello, my name's Tom." And the next Tommy Cooper walked in,
Right.
and my uncle's behind him. My uncle's got eyes down here. Do us a favour, run him home. And I thought it was like back to the Adelphi in Liverpool, Chiswick in West London, and the fog was down. It took us about 10 hours. I had to come back the next day to get married.
Yeah.
And I'd run in, shaving, where I used to shave, a little bit there, and there was blood coming down there.
Oh,
Big Al was that drunk, he had an oil of Ulay sandwich. He got something out the fridge and got to the registry office, and she looked at me, she was like,
Disgusted.
And he went, she's not happy with you. You've kept me out. But it was, he gave me a wedding present. He gave me one of those lava lamps.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, his kids used to come and watch me play football. When we played Brentford and the London clubs, young Thomas and Vicky used to come to the matches.
Wow.
We became friends for a long time.
Some great stories. Billy, thank you very much for, hopefully we get you the Riverside. We'll get you a private jet. We'll get you a cap.
Get me a wheelchair.
Yeah. Thanks very much, Billy. Cheers, thank you very much. Cheers, mate.